part, you on the trap now.
What's going on, guys? It's me, Velocity here, and today I have something very different from what I normally do on my channel. Today I have an Elder Scrolls Online guide for you. Now, Elder Scrolls Online is the new MMORPG on Xbox One. It's been out on PC for a while, but pretty much this is just a guide for being a werewolf. Now, I will go over many topics on werewolf and lycanthropy in this video. How to become a werewolf, what to do once you are infected with the disease, the skill line, and how to be cured. Now first, we're going to look at how to become a werewolf. Now, there are two ways to become a werewolf. First way is get infected by one at nighttime. Now, I'm in the Daggerfall Covenant, so in Bankerai the spawns are right around here, right around here, right around on this road sometimes, and sometimes over here. Now, at nighttime, and supposedly the full moon is when you will come out and you'll see these werewolves, but that's not true. I saw a half moon and there was werewolves around. So pretty much just go every night if you want to become one. And then the second way is to be infected by another player. You'll come to this shrine right here, he'll bite you, bingo bob, you're a werewolf, and you do the same quest. Now, after you get the disease Sanius lupinus, which I still have right here, you will have to go to Evermore or the big city, and you'll get a quest from this person. It'll be like, oh, you're a brother of the pack or something like that, and then you'll come back here to the shrine, pick up a scroll, and do a really awesome quest. Now at the end of the quest, you're going to be rewarded with the werewolf skill line and the werewolf ultimate right here. I have it maxed out and I have most of the abilities. Since we covered how to become a werewolf, what to do once you are infected with the disease, now let's cover the skill lines. So, the ultimate ability is obviously Werewolf Transformation. You level it up, and when it hits that Werewolf Transformation IV or 4, and it's all the way, you can morph it to have some pretty sick abilities. The Pack Leader morph makes your werewolf white and helps people gain ultimate faster. The Berserker makes your werewolf black and makes you attack faster. The Pounce is a giant leap. Hercian's Bounty restores health. Roar causes enemies to flee in fear. Piercing Howl, it knocks down enemies and does some physical damage. Infectious Claws, it puts disease on your claws and you do damage over time. Now, the passives for the werewolf are only in while you're in werewolf form, so that is something to take into play. Pursuit increases the amount of stamina your heavier attacks store by 50. Devour, it makes you feed on enemies so your werewolf lasts longer. Blood Rage, every time you get hit, your werewolf time is increased by 3 seconds, but it can only occur every 5 seconds, so it's not like unlimited werewolf time. Blood Moon, it allows you to infect other players. Savage Strength increases your werewolf damage. Call of the Pack, it causes nearby allies in werewolf form to stay transformed for 5 more seconds, and that is when you cast werewolf form. So, we've gone over how to become a werewolf, how to do the quest, but the one thing I did not show you guys is what if you're not in the Daggerfall Covenant? And that's okay because most of you guys probably aren't watching this video. So, for the Eldamari Dominion is in Reaper's March. I'm not exactly sure where the spawns are. You can just look those up later. I'll try and link it down in the description. And for the Ebon Heart Pact, it is the Rift. So those are the places I know because those are the high level zones, but I'm not exactly sure where they do spawn, so you will have to look that up. Now, I know many people are having a hard time either finding these werewolves, what time of night do they spawn, and like I said, really just go whenever it is nighttime, and don't really pay attention to the moon cycle too much, but I think the easiest way is to get infected by a fellow wolf. Now, what I would do is, this is the werewolf shrine for the Daggerfall Covenant right here. I'll zoom in and out on the map. Right here, boom. And so, I think a good way to get infected by a werewolf is actually to get someone to do it for you. Usually 1 or 2 wolves by this shrine right here. So you can just ask them to infect you, and I almost guarantee they will not do it for free. Bites can range anywhere from 2K to 25K. I've seen people selling them for 25K, and that is a ripoff. I honestly would not pay a guy for any like more expensive than 15K. I think that's the max. If you really want it that bad, I got pretty lucky and I paid just 2K. And watch out for the scammers, okay? You only have to get bit one time and get infected with the disease Sanius lupinus for you to go into werewolf form. And now well, before that, I'll show you guys lycanthropy. Now this is just the disease, but once you have lycanthropy, you're a full-on werewolf. So what this does is it lets you transform into a savage beast, and your combat stamina regeneration is increased by 15%. That is not when you're in werewolf form. So that's pretty much, you just get that anyways. But the downside is you take 40% more from poison attacks while in werewolf form. So literally, if you're not even going to use werewolf form, you could just use a different ultimate and still have lycanthropy. You still get that combat stamina regeneration increased by 15. So if you're not like a vampire or anything, there's really no point in not being a werewolf. But I would only pay someone if you wanted the actual ultimate, because I don't really think the combat stamina regeneration is that big of a deal to pay someone for that. So now I'll show you guys the actual werewolf and what that looks like. But before I talk about that, I will go in werewolf form right here. See, boom, werewolf. Rawr. This is the roar, and this is where is it? I think it's this one. That's the one that scares them. Now, you may ask, why would you want to become a werewolf? What is it like leaning towards, like, you know, the builds and such? Now, werewolf is heavily towards stamina, because as you can see there, my maximum stamina is 6,000 something, and then my health is 5,000 magicka. Magicka, if you're a werewolf, now most of the times if you're a werewolf, you'll be using close quarters combat weapons like dual wield, two-handed, sword and shield. If you're going to be a magic guy, I would strongly recommend vampire. That's just what I think, because magicka is not really going to matter much at all in werewolf. It's going to be mainly about stamina and some health. It's more of like a tanking thing, pretty much. So that's what's good with a werewolf. Now, if you're wondering, hey, how do I cure werewolf? I hate it so much. And so, I'm not actually sure if you can cure lycanthropy. I'm pretty sure you can, but I know for a fact you can cure Sanius lupinus. So what you do is you go to the main city in your little area, and you go to the Mages Guild. You'll see a priest of Arcade there, and he will cure you of Sanius lupinus. You'll just make a small donation. Boom, you're cured. And in the other factions, you'll just go to the main city. I'm guessing in Reaper's March it's probably this or maybe this. I don't know, because I'm not in those factions. Then for the Rift, it's probably, I don't even know. So you just want to look that up. I will try and link it down in the description for you guys, so you guys do know these helpful sites. Now, we've covered everything you need to know about being a werewolf, so this is the werewolf guide. If you do have any questions, just leave it in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer it. I don't think this video will get too many views or like spamming, so I'll be sure to answer every one of your comments. Remember, this is Werewolf Velocity here. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments below. Peace off.